All right. Hello, hello, hello. We're on a little bit early. Just a little bit early. If there's anyone out there who has a question or has something on their mind or on their heart that they want to throw in the chat real quick, we're here. But like I said, we're just a little bit early. Um, have a few different groups going on in the Accelerator. Have a small group that I'm working with that we are singularly focused on the idea of abundance. I have a small group of entrepreneurs that I call the program that we're doing, that I've taken them through, the Armored Entrepreneur, which basically is specifically with the idea of being a business owner, an entrepreneur, an executive, have one CEO that I work with. Um, all right. So I'm not frozen now. I forgot to do something, and so now I'm unfrozen, unstuck. And I started a little bit early. I don't know if that's going to be on the recording or not, so I'll edit it off if it is. But we're here, we're live. It's awesome to be here, excited to be here. I see there's a few people here already. Good morning, good afternoon. Georgia, awesome, awesome. Glad that you're here. Yeah, we're excited to be here. This is fantastic. It's really been fantastic, these episodes of Accelerating Your Journey that we have engaged in with you, and for us, for we benefit from these interactions just as much as you do. These are exciting times. There are lots of different types of transitionings happening on your plane of existence. We know that in your media it doesn't look like it, but outside of the mainstream that you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, comes in through your physical senses, there are a lot of things going on. More light entering into your planet, and the shift, the vibrational shift of your planet, coupled with the vibrational shift that is occurring in humanity as quietly the light begins to flow more and more through individuals such as yourselves who are entertaining these type transmissions. Shifts are occurring. Shifts are occurring. And your role as an individual, whether you believe it or not, is huge. Because as you grow and expand, as you walk this path of growth and expansion, and as you elevate yourself to a level of consistently offering a higher vibrational state, and don't let that be a complex thing or sound or seem complex. It's a matter of how you feel when you're listening to your favorite song, how you feel when you entertain your favorite color, or you entertain the last time you were with friends or family and had an amazing time at the restaurant or on vacation. How you feel. Can you consistently be in that space? And you're not going to be consistent until you begin the play and practice of conditioning yourself to that level of feeling. But that's the play and practice that you're going about. Becoming more and more consistent, conditioning yourself to that level of frequency, that level of vibration. And the more you play and practice with doing that, you're also going to find that you're going to find how in your meditation, when you're in that empty, still, quiet place, how that same level of frequency exists without effort. Without effort. So you're playing with it in your meditation. You're discovering it, rediscovering it in your meditation. When you're not trying, your vibration rises on its own when you have quieted the mind. And you're playing with it consciously when you're engaging with life and all of the data that's coming into your physical senses, and in those moments, in your jobs, in your careers, with your family, as a parent, as a partner, in your business. In those moments, you're also striving to maintain a higher vibrational state. Even as all of that is coming into your senses and all of the happenings are going on, all of the experiences are presenting themselves in front of you, you're playing and practicing with establishing and being in a high frequency state in those moments as well. And in that time, you're conditioning yourself a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And as you become consistent, even to a fraction of a degree in a higher frequency, not only have you shifted your life, not only have you opened yourself up to higher vibrational experience, first and foremost, higher vibrational thoughts, higher vibrational dominant ideas that allow those thoughts, higher vibrational perspective, interpretation of life, understanding, higher vibrational words, use of language, and then ultimately behaviors. But before any of that happens, just with your energy expression and how you feel, you are affecting your environment. You are affecting your verse. You are affecting the collaborative components that show up in the creation of experience. So now, if we put numbers to it, say your vibration was at a 44. Say your vibration is at a 44, right? And you are able to condition yourself to a higher vibration and say your frequency is at a 50, if we were to put numbers to it. When you do that, now you are operating at a higher frequency, even if it's a fraction of a degree, and you are offering that, creating that as your world, as your verse on your plane of existence. Which means that everything and everyone you come in contact with, You're giving them an opportunity to tune up to you. And those that are in the proximity of being able to do that, and they tune up to you vibrationally, well, when they go about their lives, they are of a higher vibrational state as a parent, as a partner, as a stranger in the store. And there's a ripple effect. Now, consider there's 10 of you, there's 100 of you, there's 1,000 of you, there's 1,000,000 of you doing this around your planet, about the play and practice of growing, expanding, evolving, and becoming more and more expansive. These are the things that are happening on your planet right now. And from our perspective, it's a beautiful thing. And we want you to understand that. Just be aware of it. It's easy because so much data is coming into your physical senses. You are engaged in the experiences on your plane of existence. So it's easy to become focused on the trees versus the forest. We're saying we can see the forest, and it looks really good from our perspective. So as an individual, stay the course. Okay? So, again, we're excited to be here. Haven't even started yet. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be of support. We thank you for those of you who are present, supporting us in the creation of this interaction. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recording and allowed us to be of support in that manner. This is a Consciousness Ascending presentation. This is episode 85 of Accelerating Your Journey. If you are new and you find value in this interaction, be sure to subscribe. Check the profile section for free offerings that we have that supports you in creating a firm foundation for this type of material. The individuals that we support and have supported over the years, we have found that there's not a whole lot new that you're going to hear between channels and different support people in this area. There's not a whole lot new, especially if you've been at this for a while. What we're finding is that individuals have the pieces, if you can imagine, they're puzzle pieces. They have all of the pieces, they're just not coming together to create the puzzle necessary that allows you to explode down this path of growth and expansion. What you'll find is that those free offerings, those free presentations that we offer, support you in creating a solid foundation on top of which the knowledge, the material that comes in based on where you are in your life's journey at this moment, it supports that foundation is what supports the integration, the quicker integration of that material that allows for your expansion to occur more cleanly and for you to begin to move from breakthrough to breakthrough as an individual with greater speed. In the description, you'll find that we also have ways if you are looking to engage in a more private fashion, in a more deeper fashion, because you have circumstance going on that you would like to address. We offer private sessions, and we also have a private community that has been active for over 2 years now, in which individuals are seeing grave growth and expansion there with the purpose of supporting them and accelerating the process of their growth and expansion, and they are seeing that. You can follow the links to get more information on that. Again, we're excited to be here. We're excited for each of you. Let's talk today about the details of your creating can throw you off center. The details of your creating can throw you off center. Conscious creators. As you go about the idea of creating, having an intention, striving to bring that intention, that idea into physical form. It's about becoming the thing. It's about being the person who has already established the experience. What does that version of you look like? What do they believe? How do they think? And most importantly, how do they feel? If you have an intention, there is an area between who you are being right now and the experience of that intention in which you have to become. In which you have to become that which has already created the experience. Now, sometimes an experience can manifest that doesn't require a whole lot of growth and expansion in that space. And sometimes you can have an intention and it can materialize, but you haven't fully become the person, right? And this is why circumstances that are manifest aren't held consistently. Aren't held consistently. Now, you can go back and you can look at times where you've had a great time, great experience, or relationships. You created a great experience, but it didn't last. If it didn't stay the way that was beautiful and excellent and perfect and felt good in the beginning, and that kind of dwindled off to an end, it's because you weren't consistently the person to hold that feeling, that state of experience. In the beginning, you weren't the person or not the person yet to hold it consistently. Your intention, your desire, being in that feeling creates an experience, and it matches how you've been feeling, what you've been focused on. But then the mind begins to operate. The fears, the doubts, the worries that weren't present begin to be activated, and you become someone different. Say you manifest a car, and then once you have the car, a new car, you begin to have fears and worry about the protection of the car, the security of the car. These weren't active before you had the car, but now that you have the car, now you're parking at the end of parking lots. You're doing things that are extra to try to protect its newness, its current integrity. And you're doing these things unrealizing out of fear. Fear ideas have been activated because that's who you are. Those ideas were present. And those fear ideas begin to take you down a road, if you allow them to, of a fearful end. Same thing happens in relationship. Same thing can happen in relationship. Whereas if you were able to play and practice with the state of being and who you are being that has created and established an experience, and you have developed the ideas and the thought patterns and the vibrational patterns and become that person, the person creates the experience with consistency. And now you're able to consistently hold that experience because it is a consistent offering. It is a consistent expression. Beautiful relationship is your consistent expression. The experience of newness, the experience of luxury is your consistent expression. Therefore, the experience must remain and hold consistently. I hope that makes sense. If you are being a thing, the thing remains constant. If you are being a thing long enough and create enough momentum to create a thing, but then when you create the thing is materialized, whether it's a physical thing or the experience, an experience, and then you become something else, usually as the result of fear, where now you're creating the fearful state around the thing or around the idea or experience. This happens in parenting, right? You're raising your children in love, in excitement. You have an idea of the highest vision and highest version of your children and who you would like them to be, that would allow them to be the most successful versions of themselves. And then when they get to a certain age, ideas, fears, frustrations, traumas, those types of things from your childhood begin to be activated. And unconsciously, you begin to be that person towards your children. Whether you're trying to protect them from those circumstances or not. And the minute you begin to allow or operate from the floor of those type ideas, those low vibrational, fear-based ideas, your conditioning and the energies change that you are offering, sowing, imprinting, implying on your children. You are being a certain type of person initially. And then at a certain age point, you begin to be something else. This type of thing happens all the time because people, individuals, don't realize when ideas become activated. And it causes them to be different than what they were. Or it causes them to be different from the person that created the experience in the initial. And for many of you, that space in between, that becoming in between, is what's required for you to move from undesired experiences to desired experiences. What you don't know is the time frame in which, or that is required for the becoming. But the becoming is the most critical piece. It's not difficult to fathom an idea. It's not difficult to, in your meditation, begin to get clear on an idea. The challenge is the becoming in the middle. The becoming the person in the middle. Becoming aware of the things inside of you that conflict with the consistent expression of the you that has already created the experience. And this is where you can begin to move into the details. Right? The details of your creation. And even moving into the details of your creation, that takes you off of the idea, takes you off center, or moves you out of the idea, the conscious awareness of the idea that of the becoming that is occurring. You becoming the person that has already created the experience. But the details, you have an experience that you're intending, that you are desiring to create. Details can be the cost of the thing. Details can be the people that are required for the thing. Details can be Christmas is coming up in this area of the world, right? And Benny's family, they draw names for Christmas. They draw names, and they're looking at separate, if you're not careful, and cause you to be something, be someone different than the person who is supporting the creation of a beautiful, magnificent Christmas holiday family gathering experience. The detail of drawing names. Now think about that. Think about that from the perspective, in the perspective of other areas of your life, and how the details can move you off center and cause you to be someone different other than the person who is creating the experience you actually desire. That's how fast and that's how quickly the details of a circumstance can creep in and cause you to be someone different. And this is in the area, again, of your becoming the person who has already established and created the experience. Again, anyone can envision an idea. Anyone can begin to get clear on an idea. That information, visualizing, all of those things, that is, common knowledge. That's been talked about and taught for lifetimes. But the play and practice of becoming in the middle, becoming from the person that you're being right now, who hasn't created the experience or hasn't created the experience and been able to hold it consistently, to the person who has created the experience. That space in between is the play and practice. That space in between is where individuals get lost. They get confused. That's where the frustration comes in. Frustration is not there when you're in your meditation and you're seeing yourself doing the thing in the experience, enjoying yourself in the home, driving the car, in your new job or career, successful at your business, right? There's no issue there. The challenge is in the becoming of you becoming the person, because you have to contend with, you have to flush out, you have to be aware of the ideas within you that are in conflict with you being the thing. That's what that draws out. And that's the beautiful part of aspiring to be a powerful conscious creator. This path of growth and expansion, this is required. This is what's necessary. And it needs to be a fun part of what's necessary. It needs to be a beautiful part from your perspective of what's necessary. Not something that's frustrating, not something that's upsetting. Why am I this way? How come my parents didn't know to be able to teach me and give me the correct mentality? Why am I still entertaining this idea? I did a past life regression and I saw that this is an idea that I am still entertaining from a previous life. Why am I doing that? This is so frustrating. No, the correct perspective is of a high frequency. Playfully go about this process. Most of you have tools. You can gain tools. We can support you with tools to address the inner conflict, to address the inner resistance, to be supported by your inner being in flushing out the conflict to whatever your intention is, so that you can be aware of it, so that you can understand it, and then so that you can release it, and so that you can recreate yourself as the person who is free of that idea. This is the power. This is the potential. This is the space where you begin to see that you are moving in the right direction. You're the only one that's going to be able to know that you are cutting into past programming that is causing you to be in conflict with the life that you actually desire to create. You're the only one that's going to know that you have released, that you have become a different person, because on the inside is the place where you see the difference, where you feel the difference. But playfully, you go about the play and practice. Playfully, you go about the play and practice. Understand that it's about your becoming. And when you understand that it's about your becoming, you're able to stay more and more out of the details. It's a beautiful thing that you are engaged in. It's a powerful thing. Understand that the strength, the power of your shortcomings and how they feel, of your traumas and dramas and how they feel. Opposite of those is the same level and more personal power for you as an individual. To the same degree that you feel disempowered from an experience, once you understand it and grow from it, to that same degree you can be empowered as you move forward in your life. but there's a process in between that you have to undertake, that you have to undergo, because the ideas do not just disappear on their own. And most of them right now are, you're unconscious to them, you're not aware of. So your new intention is what begins to flush out patterns that you're not even aware of. Then you go about the play and practice of engaging and releasing those patterns and recreating yourself, thus drawing you closer and closer to being the individual who is able to create and hold a desired experience consistently. Awesome. Awesome. Again, thank you for those of you who have supported us in the creation of this interaction. At this point, we will open it up. If you have been inspired to an idea, if you have any questions or comments about anything that has been discussed, feel free to throw those in the chat, and we will take a few moments to discuss those. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, again, thank you. Those of you who have supported the creation of this interaction, we're excited for you. We're excited for those of you who have found this recording and allowed us to be of support in that fashion. It is Thursday, and we will be back Monday at the same time. Be sure to, again, if you're new, you found value, be sure to subscribe so you're alerted when new lives are coming up, these type interactions, or new content is uploaded. We're again excited for each of you. Have a beautiful weekend, an intentional end of your week, start of the new week, and we will talk to you soon.